It's time to come clean. I used to be a massive Corbyn head. I guess in some ways I still am. I've seen him speak a couple of times this year. I started this channel as a bit of a Corbyn fan page. I think he's a really interesting and unusual figure. Not just politically. I mean, he is an inspiration to awkward nerds everywhere. He proved that you don't need to be as cool as Stormzy to have your name chanted at Glastonbury. You can just be an old scruffy man who wears bifocal lenses and clothes that weren't even fashionable when he was young. So long as you really believe in something and really fight for it. There are already loads of great videos that do deep dives on his past, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to talk about his strengths, his weaknesses, and where I think he should be positioning himself in the political landscape. Jeremy was one of those love him or hate him characters, which in politics can actually serve quite well. In a first past the post system, you don't win points for being people's second favourite. So you might as well commit to the bit. It doesn't matter if you're the most hated candidate so long as you're also the most liked candidate. Now, it's difficult to tell why Jeremy did so much worse in 2019 than 2017. There were lots of factors at play, including an unclear position on Brexit, targeted character assassinations by the media, accusations of anti-Semitism, a general feeling that he was struggling to control his Blairite MPs, Boris Johnson being annoyingly charismatic. Whatever it was, he ended up mostly out of the media cycle for a few years. That was until he won Islington North as an independent. Since then, it has been announced, then unannounced, then re-announced that he is leading a new party, a party confusingly named Your Party for Now, which launched, then unlaunched, then relaunched. And now they are running citizens' assemblies, except when I signed up to go to one of the citizens' assemblies, I never got a confirmation email, so I didn't bother. Now look, setting up a party is bloody difficult. Especially when you're trying to do it democratically. And I think it's a really interesting experiment and maybe it will grow over time, but I struggle to see it as a serious contender in the next general election. The other weakness that the party will always have is trying to outgrow Jeremy Corbyn. I'm regularly talking to people about economics and a lot of the time people agree with me on all the policy points. And then I mention Corbyn and they instantly switch off. And it doesn't seem to happen when I bring up people like Zach Polanski. So what should Corbyn do? Well, let's take a step back and talk theory. There is a concept in political science called the radical flank effect. Radical factions of a movement suggest more radical policy, making the rest of the movement look less radical. It's what UKIP used to be for the Tories. David Cameron could say, "I'm not radical, I'm nothing like Nigel Farage." And of course, Farage has now bedded himself in the mainstream and he has his own radical flank. He can say, no, I'm nothing like Tommy Robinson, I'm not radical. And what's worse is some of the speakers at the Tommy Robinson rally were even more radical. It's as if he's found his own radical flank. In some ways, the right don't just have a radical flank. They have a whole multi-layered upsell system. Hey there, now you've bought into being this far right, why not go a little bit further? For just one Nazi salute, we'll promise you an ethno-state on a stick. What am I doing? The left is often accused of being too separatist, but when you look at the right, strategic separatism has actually served them pretty well. I can explain how Kemi, Farage and Robinson differ in ideology. When people can't see the difference, it just looks petty. Right now, a lot of people can't see the difference between your party and the Greens. So, as someone with absolutely no authority to tell Corbyn what to be, here's what I want Corbyn to be. An actual far-left radical. I want Corbyn to be to Zach Polanski what Tommy Robinson is to Nigel Farage. I want Corbyn to go so far left, Adnan Hussein and Zach Polanski are forced to denounce him. I want Corbyn to go so far left, he gets arrested at protests, just like the good old days. He should be out there with Greta on the flotillas. He should be calling for total public repossession of land, for maximum wages, for nationalisation of supermarkets, for prison abolition. The people of North Islington are going to vote for him whatever he says. Because he's a good constituency MP. He'll probably have that seat until he dies. He might as well have a bit of fun with it. Jeremy, please, Jeremy, grab that Overton window with both your hands and heave with all your might. But realistically, this probably won't happen, which is a shame. But I do think it leaves open an interesting opportunity, a gap in the market, if you will. Maybe it'll be Zara that fills it. Maybe it'll be Jamie Driscoll. Maybe it'll be someone we haven't heard of. Maybe it'll be me. Or maybe it'll be you.